Cool, we're live. Can I get an audio check and comms check as well, please? And then we can crack on with this live stream. I hope the lighting is not too severe. Trying to get it right, but anyway, we've got some seriously important stuff to share on this live stream tonight. I know there's been a lot of talk about the digital ID here to apparently hit in the UK. But there's a bits of information I've got in here which aren't on any videos, so it's important to share the stream if you can. Copy the link of this video, share it on all of your social media groups. I'm hoping that this doesn't get removed because we've got some exposés to do. Thank you guys for the 5x5 confirmation. That's awesome. We're just waiting for the stream to warm up. We got 128 in here. That's pretty good. Some of you know, but not all of you know. I was arrested for a social media post. Literally banned from all social media for 4 months. Had all of my electronic devices taken, and my phone returned, and they broke my phone. So yes, I lost loads of stuff on that. So thank you for the police. I was absolutely fair, answered all the questions, being as helpful as possible, and all I get was a kick in the nuts. So my respect for the police is like that. I don't care. If you're police, you're part of the government, you're part of the system, and you're no friends of us. I know there's going to be some, not many, good police officers within the force, but I think it's time to draw a line in the sand, people. Now, I know this has been said before. Okay, I remember when 2020 happened and they said everyone has to wear these things, mandatory, which is bullshit. Mandatory is not law, okay, which is the same frigging terminology that our exhausted ruler, Mr. Stammer, has said again, mandatory. So listen, mandatory is not law. You don't have to do it. You really need to understand that. If you don't believe me, look at the dictionary, all right, and see what it actually says. It is not law. Right. So without further ado, what we're going to do is we're going to go live. Now, this is the 26th of September, 2025, and it's just gone 8 p.m. on a Friday. Let me just see if I can turn that down. It's quite severe, isn't it? So we're going to see what the latest is with the petition. And I've signed the petition today. There is a link in the pinned part of the chat. When this live stream gets published, I'm going to go into the comment section and I'm going to pin the link in the comment section. So this, I don't believe that any petition has risen this fast in UK politics. I really don't think it has. So just have a look at this right now. Wow, that is the latest. 1,355,225 people have signed this. Look, it's just gone up. And it's going up all the time, people. Okay, we could literally keep this on the screen and you can see how often this is just rising. Okay, if you haven't already done so, please do it ASAP. There is a link in the chat. And I've put a link in the description box. And when the live's finished, I'm going to put the link as a pinned comment so everyone can see it. Share this link for people to sign the petition as far as wide as you possibly can. This, being honest, this is our line in the sands now. Okay, like I said, 2020 with the mask mandates. Okay, that was a line in the sand. The jabs, the pokes, the spiky things, that was our line in the sand. What else happened? All this alphabet people nonsense with kids at school being indoctrinated, etc. That was a line in the sand. We keep on walking over these lines in the sand, but this right here, right now, like I said, this is the most important thing of our times. And I know that may sound fear porn or clickbaity or whatever, but no, when you look into it and when you connect dots, you will see the true agenda behind what is going on. Okay, so please, like I say, share this video to as many people as you can, even if they're on the left, even if they're sheep people or whatever it is. please get them to watch, because the evidence and the information which I am going to provide for you will leave you absolutely in no uncertain terms. You can see what's going on. It's bonkers. It's not just here in the UK. So we're going to go through some bits and pieces in this video. I tried my best to structure it as fast as I can, but to be fair, there's so much information which needs to be injected into this video. It's just a lot. So now I'm asking you, right, to please try and remain calm, because this video I am just about to play to you will probably wind you up, will probably get you upset, will probably make you angry. I'm just asking you to try and remain calm whilst you're watching it, because I'm going to show a video of Keir Starmer. And I know Keir Starmer, if you're outside of the UK, what's really going on in the UK is the overwhelming majority of everyone living within the UK does not like Keir Starmer or his party at all. The people who do are an extreme minority. I would say less than 15% of the UK actually like this government and what they're doing, moreover Keir Starmer. That seems to be the truth, which is not being shown on the mainstream for obvious reasons. So that's what I'm saying. It's important to share this stream, and please sign the petition. Okay, I know some of you think, oh, it doesn't do anything, etc. What the numbers will show the government is how many people are pissed off with how this country is being driven into the frigging ground. That flag means a lot to most of us here in the UK, and I know some people, good people, have been putting flags up on street lampposts, all the rest of it, and some evil, low-life, uneducated, narrow-minded scumbags are removing them, whether they work for the local Stasi, the local council, or just people who think the England flag is a sign for football hooliganism. It's absolutely not. Okay, the flag of St. George has been around for a long time, and so is the United Kingdom. The reason I show the United Kingdom rather than my national flag, which is of England, is because I believe that the United Kingdom, yes, united, should be united. I've worked and spent time, I've got many friends in Ireland, Northern Ireland, here in Wales, and up in Scotland, as well as many in England. Okay, it doesn't matter where you are in the UK. This is why we all need to stand together and show the United Kingdom flag. If you want to show your national flag, that's fine. But for me, I feel I speak for everyone, not just in England. I'm an Englishman currently living in Wales, right? So the Union Jack, or the Union flag, if you want to be frigging woke about it, means a lot. Not to just most of us, but the veterans. I'm myself a military veteran, and I know some of you guys are watching now, and that flag means a hell of a lot. Our colours, all right? So total respect to everyone who's been putting flags up. Fair play to you. And please, if you see anyone taking flags down, challenge them, get them on film, and shame them. Because these people, listen, if you don't want to live in the UK and don't respect our flag, piss off and go somewhere else. It's as simple as that. I think the problem with society now is things have got too muddled and too complicated. Let's call it out for what it is. Let's be black and white about this. If you come to the UK, you want to stand for its values. If you don't want to come here, don't come here. It's as simple as that. And over a matter of time, all of those who have entered here illegally will not be here for much longer. Okay, it is happening, and you will see big changes in that. So without further ado, I'd like you to swallow as much as you can, because we're going to show Mr. Starmer. Now, let me see. I think it's 3, 3, 2, 1. Oh, God, they're all saying that. No, sorry, I've got a few open. I need to get the right one. Here it is. So apologies in advance. This is what our pilchard of a prime minister has come out and said recently. Like I said, I'm asking you to go with it, guys. But this is moreover for people outside of the UK to see what we're up against here. This is a leader who no one likes in the UK. And I've sent a message to Black Belt Barrister. How can we get this government to stop? That's the most important thing. Forget all of this. Oh, we've got to wait 4 or 5 years. No, there must be something politically in place to literally stop government, because this government is hell-bent on screwing his country even further than it's already been screwed. And we're going to expose the top players as we go through this video. But for now, let's listen to Two-Tier Keir.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes, looking upstream to tackle poverty, conflict, climate change, issues that aren't just intolerable for those of us who care about inequality and injustice wherever it's found in the world, but which have clear consequences for our own citizens. Take Russia's aggression in Ukraine. We all have a responsibility for the future of our continent, to stand tall where oppression and violence rears its head. But it is also about energy security, because Putin and other tyrants have used their control over energy supplies as a threat. They've pushed up energy bills, threatened to keep doing so unless they get their way. And that's why we're investing in our own energy, sovereign control over our own future, whether that's nuclear, wind, solar power. Now, this will create good jobs, but it will also take the boot of tyrants like Putin off our throat. So our mission to become a clean energy superpower is about future-proofing energy supply, bringing energy bills down and protecting the planet that we all live on, doing right by our values and by our countries and our citizens. Because in this era, we must be the nation builders. We must be the patriots in our countries. We must show working people that we, and only we, can deliver the pride and belonging they seek. Their communities strong, cohesive, change for the better, taking control of our future.
I couldn't take no more of that. Oh my God. Oh, I'm really sorry to have put that to you guys. And you know what? The weird thing is, you know, one person can have all of that going on. And also the Mayor of London, the prime pilchard that he is. I'm pretty sure no one's voted for these guys yet. They seem to be in the driving seat. So let me just remove that, because I've got so many tabs. Now, another thing I wanted to show you, again, I'm going to repeat the date. It's the 26th of September, 2025, and it's just gone 8:15 in the evening. All right. So we're watching the public's reaction. Now, excuse me. I'm not going to play you this video. I'm just going to scroll through the comments. Now, this is what I used to do quite a lot back in 2020, when the BBC or Sky News or the frigging Guardian or the Mail or whatever it is, the official YouTube channels are speaking proactively about the poke in 2020. Look at the comments. It is unbelievable. So we're going to do the same here. Look at the comments under this video. Okay. Let me just check that it's being shared. Yes. Sweet. Look, this has nothing to do with immigration. And as you can tell, I thumbs up all of the comments that I've liked. So you could basically make the argument that the government has purposefully allowed illegal immigration to run rampant in order for them to justify and implement digital ID system. Unbelievable. Lots of people are waking up, friends. He has no mandate for this. It's not in his manifesto, and it tackles nothing. It's diverse policy, and I hope the public give it the gesture it deserves. We will not comply. No, I will not comply. You already have to prove you have the right to work in the UK in order to get a job. This is just about state control and data capture. 100% on the money right there. Does our national insurance number prove our right to work already? Good question. The level of treason will never be forgotten. Now, this comment is a beautiful comment. We shouldn't forget what the government has done to its people, especially since 2020. Never forget all of the things that they were doing. Cyber criminals are salivating over this announcement. 100%. And we're going to get into a little bit about cyber crime as we go through this as well. Okay. This is not going to be safe. Not one person has asked for this. Honestly, these comments just go on and on and on and on. All of them are firmly against it. And fair play. No way. Sign the petition. Beyond Orwell's 1984. People know the score. Okay. What we need to do is we need to make sure that everyone that you know signs the petition to say no more. We are not putting up with this BS. We're not. It's as cold, straight and simple as that. Now, like I said, it's not just the UK. This is happening all over. I want to draw your attention to this short video, which I managed to download earlier, about New Zealand.
The state government is about to launch a new form of digital ID that means you'll never have to hand over your personal details to anyone again. It will all be stored in the Service New South Wales app on your phone, which will prove you are who you say you are.
Scanning his licence, passport and Medicare card, in less than 3 minutes, the minister proves he really is Victor Dominello.
This is unquestionable. The Holy Grail.
This is your first look at the state's new digital ID.
This is a huge step forward in giving back people control over their data, control over their identity.
Personal credentials will be stored on your device. No IDs need to be handed over. And that means keeping your address and birth date to yourself. If you need to hire a car, rent a property, set up a bank account, check into a hotel, or prove you're over 18 to buy alcohol or attend an event.
But how can it trust you are who you say you are? Well, you'll need to take a selfie, which will be cross-checked against other forms of ID you've submitted, and when there's a match, you're good to go.
The technology will be opt-in and should be available later this year.
Wow, that's New Zealand. That was in July of this year, I believe. Absolutely unbelievable. So we're going to go and check, since we've been on the live stream, to see what the latest is. Let's refresh the page. Oh, wow. 1.3 million. This is going to be 2 million people by tomorrow. Pretty much a guarantee, and these signatures are rising all of the time, even whilst we're going live. Okay, now I've done videos about this before. Let me just show you quickly. Here we go. 2 years ago, there's me speaking about the digital ID. 2 years ago, there's me there speaking 15 days left because there was a constitution, sovereign rights, or save our rights, and petition going around, but it didn't hold any clout parliamentarily. Okay, so I have been speaking about this digital ID again a couple of years ago, and the thing is, some of the things I was talking about, the digital ID and the cash points as well, how they're scamming your biometric data. I've done videos about all of these things. Some of them are hidden in live streams. So let me just, I've got to close these tabs down, guys. I've got so many things open. So we talked about before the relationship between Keir Starmer and Tony Blair. Okay, if you don't believe me, here's some juicy pictures to share with you. Okay, this was within the last 2 or 3 years. Okay, good friends, these two. And if you remember, in the 2000s, Tony Blair tried to get digital ID through and failed. Tony Blair is literally using My Little Pony here to get his points of view across, because this man here, Tony Blair, stands to make an absolute fortune off the back of data harvested by these proposed new digital identity cards. I suspect that it won't be a physical card. These will probably be an app on your phone. And do you know what? I've been considering now getting an old phone which doesn't connect to the internet. I did see a Nokia one with a keyboard on it. Now, when I was arrested by the police, end of last year, early this year, I actually used my burner phones, my old Nokia phones. But when it comes to texting, it's quite a pain in the ass. Okay, so if you had an old phone which doesn't connect to the internet, 3G, possibly 4G, early 4G, I would say, with a keyboard on it, it's a lot easier to send text messages rather than pressing 3, 4, 5 X amount of times. It takes a long time. It's a pain in the ass. But I'm seriously considering going down that road, because the phone, as great as it is, it literally tracks you everywhere. How many apps have you got on your phone? When you look to the terms and conditions and the permissions, if you've just given loads of apps who you don't know who really designed it, you've given them access to all of your contacts, your video, your microphone, all of your pictures, etc. Crazy, 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 crazy. I'm massive on privacy, and this goes back to when I exposed Keir Starmer and a few others about a society called the Fabian Society. Now, not many people have heard of the Fabian Society. There's 2 people who I am going to say who you are going to know. Okay. George Orwell was a Fabian Society member. Aldous Huxley, the author of Brave New World, was indeed a Fabian Society member. So we're just going to go onto their website right now. This is the latest website. You can check this yourself and just go in, just type in Fabians. That's it on the URL there. Okay. And go into our history. Look at that. On the left for 140 years. So we go down through this because I've highlighted some bits and pieces which I want to show. New Labour. Who remembers Ed Balls? Yep. Tony Blair and Gordon Brown? Yep. Ed Miliband? Yep. And look at this. Wow. Labour's defeat in 2019 elections saw the party turn back towards its Fabian roots. The Fabian Society is one evil, sinister organisation. It seriously is. When you look into the history of it and the members and all of the nefarious things that these members have gotten up to, you will see exactly what I mean. As passed to Keir Starmer, MP. The first time serving member of the Fabian Society executive had become leader of the party. Starmer relinquished his position on the Society's executive, but the committee continued to include senior shadow cabinet ministers Wes Streeting and Annalise Dodds. The broader Fabian membership contained over half the shadow cabinet, including Starmer, Angela Rayner, and Rachel Reeves. Yes, these guys are all members of the Fabian Society. Seriously evil, corrupt organization. Seriously. And if you think that's quite bad enough, what's our Prime Minister doing with an organization like this? We've only got to remind ourselves a few years ago that here he is again. at the World Economic Forum in Davos. I believe this is 2023. Okay, it was the annual meeting. Yeah, there it is. So that would have been January 2023. Okay, I wonder if we'll see him again in January 2026. With the amount of heat that this guy is going to draw to himself, I suspect not. They're going to try and hide it away. Okay, but when you look at the World Economic Forum and Keir Starmer and this evil James Bond villain, slimy, greasy toad, isn't it a wonder where we see our country going when it's been hijacked? People, it's been hijacked. There's no simpler, easier way to describe it. So with these rollouts of these digital ID cards, which I suspect will be an app on the phone, okay, people will say, oh, I've lost my ID card. People tend to carry their phones wherever they go. So if you ain't got your phone, you ain't getting in. So who remembers hearing stories from our grandparents about World War II? Yes, your papers, please. Crazy. We are literally right on the cusp of this being rolled out here in the UK. And it's up to us to give them the finger and say, absolutely no, we do not want any part of this digital ID. We don't want to be showing our papers, etc. Okay. They already rolled out a paper, like a card in World War II with your identification on it. And people just got so fed up with it, they burnt them. Everyone was in the same boat. Everyone didn't protest, they just burnt them. Oh, where's your card? Oh, I burnt it. Well, we can't do anything. Well, it is what it is. And everyone done the same. And do you know what? Churchill, love him or hate him, it's pretty sinister when you look at it as what he's actually done. But that's another story, okay? When you look at the amount of people who stood up, burnt, tore their papers up, said no, they abolished it. The only way we are going to make change is by numbers, okay? What we saw with that petition, incidentally, if you haven't done it, you could do it whilst you're watching this. It's really simple. I done it. You just click on the link, go there. I typed in my name. I just put Darren in lowercase. I didn't even put my surname. I put an email address, which I'll very rarely use, and all they wanted was a postcode. They didn't want your street. They didn't want your door number. And the only way that this petition count would carry is if you went to your email, they send you a link, you click on that, and then your vote gets counted. Okay. So if you're really, really worried about sometime in the future that, oh my God, they knew that I voted against digital ID, now I'm going to be punished for it. So if you're already thinking along them lines, consider using, maybe do this. This is fictional role play. Okay. This isn't real. Maybe do something like this as an idea. What about a VPN? Somewhere in the UK, and you make up an email address which you don't use, and you just put a name on there. Your petition will carry, and you will probably have some degree of anonymity. Okay, just food for thought. Like I say, it's just an idea if you're that concerned about it. Me, I don't give a shit. I just put my name, email address, my postcode. Yep, received, no problem. Boom, my vote was carried. It's really easy to do. The whole thing took 15 seconds max. So you could do that right now. And believe me, if you're on the fence thinking, oh, I don't know, it might come to bite me one day, just think about what I said about VPN. Because I'm going to show you this again. So this is where we are at the moment, and that's going to jump up. Are we going to jump up again? People are watching the live stream. People are sharing it. People are signing a petition. We're just going to refresh the page and go down. We have until the 9th of January 2026. Okay, that's when this petition deadline finishes. Now, wouldn't it be cool if we was to see 20 million signatures on there? It will break all of the records. And I would like to think that if you shared the link to this petition to as many people as possible and just went on and on and on at them to sign, like these people are doing right now, that's the only way we are going to send a clear message to our government that we are freaking far from happy. And we've got until the 9th of January, people. Okay, so there's no rush. Have a think about it. Okay, but this momentum is building. Now, like I said before, about what are the fears about this digital ID? What about security? What about your data? Don't forget, this is probably going to have biometric data. So it's going to scan your face. It's going to scan your retinas. Okay, it will have lots of really important information, sensitive information on that app card or whatever it is they freaking think they're going to use. Okay, and it's going to be put somewhere on some server. Now, that is like a red rag to a bull to an up-and-coming hacker. Yeah, that is why I've done videos 2-3 years ago now about why the government are hell-bent on becoming a world leader in AI, artificial intelligence. The only way they are going to use this data from this digital ID system is to get as much AI power and as much data centers to store this data. And let me ask you this one simple question. Do you trust the government? Do you like the government? It's yes or no. There's no grey area. Now it's time to grow some balls, son. What are you going to vote for? Do you like the government? Yes or no? It's really simple. But may I add, just before you answer that question, have you had any experiences with the government and local government? So when you've been ill and you've been into hospital, what was your experience like? Was it really good? Was it amazing? What about when you had a toothache and you had to go to the dentist? Could you find a free dentist anywhere? Did you have to pay private? Are you on benefits? Have you got a disability that prevents you from working? How was those experiences? What about if you go out for a drive or something in your town and you park the car parking? So let me get this straight. You've bought your car, you paid for insurance, you've paid tax on it, you pay tax on your fuel, and you pay your council tax. So why is it that you drive your car, which you've paid for everything on it, and the council tax? Why should you have to pay for car parking, especially in the town or city that you live in? That's how much the local national government care about you. That's how much they like you. Okay. What about inflation? The Bank of England. Everything seems to be gotten a lot more expensive, hasn't it? And like I said, when it happened in 2020, when everyone was furloughed, you really thought that's going to be a cool thing. That money was borrowed at interest from central banks. And 18 months later, they called it in with interest. And guess what happened? Yep. Everything went up. Everything got expensive. Okay. That's what happens. The government starts throwing out free money. They want it back with interest, usually 18 months later. All right. That seems to be their MO. So my fear or worry, maybe concern about the digital ID freaking privacy screwing system is the quality of protection of that stored data. Now, look what's just happened. Do you know what's just happened in Vietnam? Well, let me enlighten you. Like I said, I'm showing you things that not many people have seen. Look at this. This happened. Wow. This was today. Look, Vietnamese banks block 300,000 suspicious transactions worth 57 million in a fraud crackdown. Okay. Problem, reaction, solution. Someone creates a problem, they expect a reaction, and you've already got the solution. And you're not going to believe what the solution is. But no, this was a cyber attack. Okay. So do you want to see the follow-up about that? Problem, reaction, solution. Check this out. Vietnamese commercial banks began removing over 86 million bank accounts within the last few days after the State Bank of Vietnam, the SPV, enforced new biometric requirements. So basically, I'm going to read that again. Vietnamese commercial banks began removing 86 million bank accounts. They just removed 86 million bank accounts. And the only way you're going to get back online with your bank is you have to provide biometric data. So a full scan of your face and fingerprints, eye scans, etc. And maybe DNA. Okay. That's the problem. This is what's happening. And do you know what the weird thing is? I spoke about this on a few live streams in the past, was even my bank. Okay. If I want to do certain functions within my bank, I have to provide biometrics. And do you know what it says underneath? Skip for now. Skip for now. Even on eBay. Yeah, eBay. They want you to use biometrics. What the friggin' hell? What? And how often have we seen little pop-ups on websites? This has been going on for a long time. If someone knows in the chat, let me know when this started. When you go into a website, verify that you're human or confirm you're not a robot. You remember you got to play those little clicky capture stupid little games? What year did that come out in the UK? And especially if you're watching from around the world, when did that come out in your neck of the woods? I'll be very interested to read the comments in the chat after this video's gone out. And like I say, if you can, please share the link to that petition. I've signed it. I can prove I've signed it. Lots of people I know have signed it. And I hope to God, all of you watching right now, if you haven't signed it, we'll sign it ASA. I'm not joking. It's very, very important. So John Corner is calling it out 2015, according to John. I haven't checked that. I'm just going by random internet guy. But 2015, that's when we started to see these little pop-ups saying, are you human? Are you a robot? Okay. Thank you, John. Pilgrim is signed it. You're in the US. I love you, bro. Do you know what? Yeah, I might get told off, or it might make it all go wrong. But people could use the VPN if they're from another country in the UK, create an email address, and then do that. Crazy. Are you a lizard? Are you? Fucking weirdo. I'll tell you what, I want you to watch this because, like I said earlier on in this video, and I want you to stay to the end of this live stream. It won't be for very much longer, okay? But there's a very important message at the end, which I feel everyone needs to hear the message, okay? I really want it to let it sink in, and I want you guys to think about it. But before we do, consider that as a role-playing exercise, all of us in the UK are dumb, stupid. We all said, yeah, digital ID, great. It makes things so much easier. It will keep us safe. And that's another thing before I forget. Do you know how they are going to push this? Because they want this in place in over 4 years, just over 4 years, Tom. Okay, 2030. That's the big magic number. Okay, so there's going to be 4 years of what we're going to witness is social media going crazy. They are going to use celebrities, whether they're A-listers, Hollywood stars, maybe they're just pricks on the television, maybe they're bloody sports guy frigging personalities. You're going to get bombarded with lots of these people saying, yeah, I signed up for the digital ID. It's awesome. It's going to make things so much easier. It's so easy. Hey, it's going to make things so easy, and we're going to be so safe. So mark my words. Remember what I said. You will be seeing that. Because the way I think this is going to pan out, so many people are going to sign this petition. They are going to have no choice but to debate it in Parliament. And during that time, so this is going to be after the 9th of January, 2026. After that, there will be protests about this. Because what I think is going to happen, they're going to debate this in Parliament. There's not going to be many people in there. They're going to try and say, oh, don't worry about it. It's only a certain amount of population. It's going to be a minority or whatever it is. They can even fudge the figures, just like they frigging did in America with the Trump and Biden bullshit. Okay, if you think that Biden presidential win wasn't rigged, I think your head is so up your ass, you're going to need a head torch with big batteries because you need to see around yourself, dude. How the hell can you believe that to be the truth? So bear that in mind. They can absolutely fudge the numbers. So if everyone signed up for it, where would we be in a few years' time? Well, I'm going to draw your attention to this video. Now, I think this is quite old. I think it's about 18 years old. I'm going to show it to you now. Here it is, 18 years old. Can you see this? I'm just going to check the if I can see it. Yeah, you can see it on the screen. 18 years old. And you're going to watch it with me, okay? I'm going to make the screen big and I'm going to play it. You might have to turn your volume up, okay? Because this is a bit quiet. But I want you to see where this digital ID is going. It's an essential part of the evil bastards' jigsaw puzzle, which they love trying to build this beautiful picture that they want and we don't want. So I want you to watch this very carefully, bearing in mind this was made 18 years ago.
Pizza Palace, guaranteed hot in 30 minutes or it's free. This is Mary. May I take your order?
Hi, Mary. Yes, I'd like to order.
Is this Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Thank you for calling again, sir. I show your national identification number is 610-204-9998-45-54610. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. I see you live at 736 Montrose Court, but you're calling from your cell phone. Are you at home?
I'm just leaving work, but I'm...
Oh, we can deliver to Bob's Auto Supply. That's at 175 Lincoln Avenue, yes?
No, I'm on my way home. How do you know all this stuff?
We just got wired into the system, sir.
Oh, well, I'd like to order a couple of your double meat special pizzas.
Sure thing. There'll be a new $20 charge for those, sir.
What do you mean?
Sir, the system shows me that your medical records indicate that you have high blood pressure and extremely high cholesterol. Luckily, we have a new agreement with your national health care provider that allows us to sell you double meat pies as long as you agree to waive all future claims of liability.
What?
Do you agree, sir? You can sign the form when we deliver, but there is a charge for processing. The total is $67 even.
$67?
Well, that includes the delivery surcharge of $15 to cover the added risk to our driver of traveling through an orange zone.
I live in an orange zone?
Now you do. Looks like there was another robbery on Montrose yesterday. You could save $48 if you ordered our special Sprout Submarine combo and picked it up yourself. Comes with tofu sticks. Those are very tasty, sir. Good value, too.
But I want double meat.
Well, I'm sure you can afford the $67 then. You just bought those tickets to Hawaii. They weren't cheap, eh? Oh, but I see you checked out the budget beach bum at the library last week. Up to you, sir.
All right, all right. I'll get the Sprout subs.
Good choice, sir. Gotta watch that waist if you're hitting the beach, eh? 42 inches. Wow. Man, I'd say tofu and Sprouts is like required.
That's how much?
Just between you and me, there's a $3 off coupon in this month's Total Men's Fitness magazine. Your wife Betty subscribes to that, right? Anyhow, clip that and it's $19.99 even. Whoa, looks like you maxed out on all your credit cards. Bring cash, okay?
Want to stop this from happening?
Yeah. I'm sorry it's a bit quiet, but I had the volume up and everything. So, yeah, 18 years ago that was made. And my friend who is passed now, Ian R. Crane, first put me onto that a long time ago. And it's still poignant even today. Now, like I said before, right, we're not the only place on the planet with this. So this, as far as I know, is the most up-to-date map of the countries around the world which currently have digital ID. Let me just see. Yes, here it is. Check this out. So digital identities around the world. I'm just going to come out. Yeah, we got it. Cool. So we got Sweden, Denmark, Belgium, Holland, Estonia, Nigeria, India, and Singapore. So that's not much when you look at the whole map of the world. It's interesting that they've attacked Europe, bang. And then India, bang. So we read down. Belgium, over 28 million ID cards were issued. The same mobile ID scheme has reached 6.7 million users. That's just in Belgium in 2021. So like I said, when it happened in 2020, everything changed. You've only got to look at the dates of this. This is all after 2020. When you look at what happened on 9/11, look at all of the Patriot Act and all of the dystopian rules, regulations, and laws come out just after that. It's exactly the same MO. Denmark, over 90% of the population for banking, taxes, and public sector interactions, eliminating the need for physical cards. So that's going to be on their phones. Estonia, gee whiz, 99% of the population are using it. 99% of Estonia. Wow. India, look at this. 1.3 billion people have a unique 12-digit ID digital number, which is assigned just for those people. In Holland, or the Netherlands, 13.3 million annual logins from the people using their digital system there. Nigeria, look at this. Since 2014, nearly 100 million Nigerians have registered for the NIN. That's the National Identification Number. You can see it there. And the Bank Verification Number, a BVN. 58 million people have this Bank Verification Number. And 100 million have their National Identification Number. Now, I suspect that if you haven't got these cards or numbers, there's certain things you won't be allowed to do. These countries here didn't stand up for themselves, and now they are in the techno system, as it were. Singapore, 97% of the population of Singapore now uses the SingPass app, which is National Digital Identity System. That was launched back in 2003. Okay. And again, there is the map, right? It's a pretty cool thing. You can go and check this out. Another thing with the biometrics, okay? It's going to analyze your typing patterns, mouse movements, tracks how users move their mouses, usage patterns, monitors how users interact with their devices and applications. The government will have all of this information. SIM verification, mobile ID apps, etc. are all part of the plan. Okay, fingerprint scanning, facial recognition, iris scanning, and voice recognition. So once they have this information, that is it. You can't undo this. Where's the server place? How are people going to get in there? It's going to be secure as hell. Probably be underground. It might not even be in the UK. It might even be in the sea. Maritime law, if you understand where I'm coming from. So yes, all of this verification of identification. Crazy. Blockchain-based verification. Yep, blockchain. It's not as nice as they want you to think it is. Read more about it. Blockchain ain't all that. So that's where it is around the world. And like I said, there's one part of the world which we didn't mention there, and we all probably know about it now. It's China. China social credit system. Do you want to see this here in the UK? Everyone's faces, everyone's got a number to them. This guy here, he lost his job. He couldn't pay the last installment or one of his insurance installments for his car. So as soon as they see him, bink, it come up, oh, you haven't paid. They watch him go to a car, they watch him get in it, then they're going to fine him. The money's going to come straight out of his account as a fine. He won't have no say in it, no law, no jury, nothing. This is complete control. China is a communist country. And like everything, they target the youngsters. The youngsters proudly show off their credit score. Look how good compliant citizen I am. I haven't spoken against the government because the government really likes me. Absolutely scary as hell. It really, really is of how bad it actually is in China. They do call it the Great Firewall of China because stuff stays in there, if you catch my drift. And who remembers me literally going mental a few years ago about the Online Safety Act, or the Online Safety Bill, as it were, with King Charles, with his chubby fingers, gave it his royal assent. So, yeah, we're never going to forgive you for that, Charles. Incidentally, there's all sorts of theories flying around, and I think one way that they are going to change people, one way I think how we're going to be distracted, you know, one big thing was that Charlie Kirk thing. I mean, if you really want to get millions of people just trying to figure out what happened and then not give a shit about digital ID, maybe stop living with your emotions and start looking through your eyes and seeing things. The most important thing, despite all of these distractions, which we in the UK and the Western world, I might add, need to pay attention to, is digital ID and central bank digital currency. Okay, everything else is a freaking sideshow. The whole thing. Okay, Charlie Kirk, he might even be living in bloody New Zealand now. It might have all been staged. It's a sideshow. It's a massive, great big sideshow. Like I said, the things that we really need to focus on is this digital ID. Because if, and I hope to God I'm wrong, they get this and we all have to have it, whatever, how they're going to do it, that's the end. If you value your privacy and you like what freedoms you have, you're literally going to kiss goodbye to all of them once that comes in. We need to make sure that we stand by this flag and we speak our voices. We don't need this digital ID shit, this crap. This pisses us all off. It's not important. And what about problem, reaction, solution? I got into big trouble, like I said, with the police, banned for 4 months because I was talking about foreign people coming into the UK, and the police thought that's a naughty thing to say. I'm only saying what everyone's thinking. It's the truth. It's happening. So it's the government who allowed these people to come in. It's not the people who come in. They were literally invited. The dinghies come over here and go back there and get reused. And they're escorted by French and UK Navy to come over here. That was all done on purpose just to bring in this digital ID. It's the same level of bullshit, scare tactic, fear porn mongering, which they did in America with the election. The same thing. Oh, here's a problem. Oh, yeah, don't worry. We'll fix it for you. Digital ID. Everyone will be safe. Wow. Really? What about the digital IDs and stuff in Europe? Like we said earlier. How's their migration going? Let that sink in. So the Online Safety Act, like I said, well, I've done videos on this. This is a thing. Okay, look at this. I and many of you, I like to think, use Signal. Please, for the love of God, don't use Telegram. Uninstall it, get your contacts off of there, uninstall it and go on Signal. Okay, I've had friends, hacker friends, who have checked Telegram and they said it tracks them everywhere. So if you like your freedom and you like your privacy, what the friggin' hell are you doing using Telegram? Please don't use it. One of the only things that you can use at the moment is Signal. Okay, and it's free, very easy to use. You need 2 people, 2 phone numbers. You both got keys. It's proper end-to-end encrypted. And if you look at the latest, check this AI overview. I know the UK's Online Safety Act has significant implications for messaging apps like Signal, but it does not currently mandate the breaking of end-to-end encryption. Well, Signal has stated it will cease services in the UK if forced to weaken its encryption to comply with the law. The Act primarily requires platforms to prevent children from accessing harmful content and remove illegal content. Yes, that's the Trojan horse, people. They're really worried about kids. Really? If they're really worried about kids, would they be introducing that alphabet, she, he bullshit crap in our schools? No. The government don't care about your kids. That's bullshit. Signal status in the UK in 2025 is subject to ongoing implementation and potential future legal challenges or amendments related to its encrypted nature and for specific application of the Act. So basically, to summarize them, Signal is probably one of the only ones that you can trust in the UK. Let me know if you know of any more. There was one called Briar and Wire, which are pretty good. But no, WhatsApp, Signal, freaking don't trust it, people. Basically, every single thing that you do share, whatever it is, on Telegram, WhatsApp, the government are reading it. Or should I say, GCHQ, are listening things in that big weird circle. So the infrastructure is already in place, people, for this. And look at this. Several UK supermarkets, including Sainsbury's, Asda, Iceland, and Southern Co-op, have trialled or are using facial recognition cameras in stores to identify individuals involved in theft, abuse, or violent behaviour. Yes, it's always about safety, isn't it? Always about safety. But they are putting these things, they're trialling them in supermarkets. They are reading your face. They are knowing who you are, what time you're in that shop, who you're with, all of the things that you're buying. Personally, in my mind, that's no one's freaking business. That's no one's business. If I wanted to go into a supermarket and buy something, that's no one's freaking business. Why the hell does the government think it should be their business? And I'll tell you what they are going to say. It's for everyone's safety. Listen, we're adults. We're over 18. We don't need the frigging government to hold our frigging hands, do we? No, because we're men and women of the United Kingdom. We were born here. This country has values for all of us. The people who fought for this country in World War I and World War II and other conflicts around the world fought for this flag and moreover its freedoms and its citizens' right to privacy. At the end of the day, the majority of people are good people all around the world. It's the governments who are the evil bastards. And I'm going to say it clear. It's the governments who are the evil bastards. Pure and simple. Look at this. They hate competition. They sure as hell hate competition. So, where do we stand with all of this? All we've got to go by in a moment is literally sharing the link to that petition. Because I'll tell you this much, there's no way that the government are going to try and cover this up and hide it away. Because every day, every week, or whatever it's going to be, mainstream media are going to be reporting on the facts. And the facts are, look at that, 1.4 million people already. That's had 200,000 people, I think, since I started this live stream. It's crazy. It's just going up. So please do yourself a big fat favor. Sign the petition. I did. They need 100,000 signatures before they can consider it for a debate. And with just over 24 hours, 1.5 million people nearly have signed it. Okay. I'm not joking. This really is the most important thing of our times, because I'm going to tell you this one thing. If we all fail and these evil bastards roll out this digital ID, we're done. We are done. We won't be able to back out. We won't be able to opt out. And they're going to make it so hard. They're going to use words like mandatory. So the uneducated people in our community will literally just go, oh, that means law, I must do it. No, it's not. The amount of times I walked into charity shops in 2020 and 2021, never ever wore a mask. And the amount of people who challenged me, I said, no, mandatory is not law. Simple as that. Go and do some research. Go and use your brain, not believe what the frigging mainstream newspaper tells you that morning when you're having your frigging boiled egg and soldiers. Don't believe that shit. Anyone who reads newspapers, please remember you've got your own mind. Don't allow that to ruin it for you. Please, for the love of God, turn off any updates or alerts from the BBC, Sky News, whatever it is. Just cop out of it all, because that is going to persuade public opinion. And the public consensus right now, which I feel in my heart, that most people in this country do not want this digital ID. And I'm so glad to see more people waking up about this. We've been speaking about this for 4 or 5 years now, minimum. Okay. And I'm so glad to finally see lots of YouTube channels, lots of other social media places who are putting all of this information, telling people how bad it is. Even that jerk off Russell Brand, who I just can't stand, even is banging on about it. Okay. So please share the link, copy it. I'm going to put it in the pinned comment when this live stream goes up. It's so important to sign that petition. You've only got to do it once. It took me 15 seconds. All right, just do it, and you can remain anonymous. So you're not going to get hurled in front of the gulag years to come. You won't, because you can be anonymous for it. Like I said, it's up to you. Play it how you want, because at the end of the day, it's a game. And the prices are high, friends. This is our freedom at stake. How we conduct our business, what we do in our private lives, is just that, private. It's no one's business, especially the nanny state government, who the majority of people in the UK hate with a passion. I'm just going to put it out there in black and white. How many people actually like Keir Starmer? I saw a little video earlier of him walking down the street with about 50 people, and they're all waving flags, and he's going up and greeting everyone and smiling. They're all paid actors. They just literally come off a little street, a big minibus opened up, all these people come out, they got the cameras out, filmed it, done. And it's trying to give the sheep people, the asleep people, the impression that they are doing good and they're popular. Look how good we are, smiling with the public. Wankers, bullshit, complete bunch of bastards, and they are in it for their own selves. But here's the thing, in years to come, people like Keir Starmer and Tony Blair think, all right, all I've got to do is push this agenda. I'm going to get rewarded with business opportunities, huge financial wealth, some degree of power. But at some point, them people will be expendable, and they're going to think, oh, I thought I had protection. And shit, now people are going to know where I live. Yeah, guess what, Tony Blair? Guess what, Keir Starmer? Guess what, David Cameron? Guess what, all the other Muppets? One day, we are all going to find you. Let that sink in. We are all going to find you. There is no such thing as 100% security. We will find you. We will not forget what you did in 2020, and we're certainly not going to forgive you for what you were doing to our amazing country. And the United Kingdom, Great Britain is an amazing country, but these horrible, evil bastards at the top are hell-bent on screwing it right up, throwing it in the bin, kicking back and watching it burn. That's what they're doing. Because if the government truly loved us, why would they treat us so badly? It's as simple as that. And like I said earlier on, at the end of the video, the message is, think of your kids. How old are your kids at the moment? Are they youngsters? Have they grown up? What about grandkids? 3, 4-year-olds? What sort of world are they going to live in? Already, they're probably addicted to screens and their phones. They're not having enough interactual, proper learning through play. They're not having enough time in the outdoors. They're not being mechanical with toys. Everything's touching things on the screen. What future are we going to leave for our grandkids? Now, really let that sink in. And if you don't give a shit, don't sign a petition. But if you do, if there's any shred of decency within you, you will sign it. And don't worry, you're not going to get told off years later and going to get arrested. You're not. There's lots of people signing this. Look at that. It's like over 1.5 million already. Yeah, in just over 24 hours. What's it going to be like in January? Answers on a postcard. What would be the total sum of people that signs that petition on the 8th of January? What do you think it would be? 20 million would be good, because what that will do is that will send a massive, big, sheer, easy to understand message out to everyone concerned that the people of the UK have had it up to here. The country's fallen apart. It doesn't need to. The whole thing needs to change. Everything. Forget about reform. Forget about Conservatives. Certainly forget about the Liberal Democrats and indeed Labour. Forget all of them. They are all being controlled and manipulated. All of them. The whole thing needs to change. And it will change as soon as we start saying no. Like I said before, I done a video and it was called Start Saying No. If you haven't seen it, just go and put it in YouTube and watch it. And it's the same message. If it feels wrong, if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. Just say no. Grow a pair of big, fat, hairy balls and say, no, sorry, I am not going to be living in some control grid techno bullshit bloody society where I'm told what I can do and what I can't do. What sort of freedom is that? Basically, if we allow this to happen, what we are saying is we didn't really give a shit about all them bloody soldiers and veterans who had died for that flag. That's what we're basically saying. So everyone needs to freaking sign this. Copy that link and share it to as many people as you possibly can. Work colleagues, your neighbors, your friends, anyone. Because I'm not joking. If they try and get away with this shit, it's going to nail the coffin for all of us. It needs to stop. And it needs to stop now. Please share this video. You guys take care. Thanks for watching and stay funky.